Good, you rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Now, there's something I want to say. There's an individual, and I won't name him yet till I reach out or he reaches out to me. If you hear this, reach out to me. You're saying that focused on the other things, but XxxTentacion, his body isn't at his memorial. How do you know this? What proof do you have to bring to it? Shout out to the commenter that dropped this. There were a few people that said it, but you can hop down in the comments. I'll pin you a comment because I seen it this morning after I read it. And, I was trying to figure out how he knew, but I'll do this video preemptively. And if he reaches out, he reaches out. If not, he not. But how do you know that? What type of proof do you have to show me that his body isn't there? That's easy to say. But what type of proof do you have? What can you show me to prove this to me to say, okay, he's right? How can you come out and just say that? Let me tell you something. Unless you have pure evidence about something of that nature, it would be like you saying he's alive and he's not dead. Like, you can't come out and say stuff like that. Like, you can't say that and then not back that up. That's serious. Because you're making a claim that his last memorial, where a funeral happened, where the body was, it's not there. Now, it'll be different if they had the funeral and moved the body, but that is a facility that is specifically created for holding bodies. And you're telling me his body is not there. That's weird. And how would you have this knowledge? Did you go inside of the tomb, look in the casket? Did you take a picture? The same way they were trying to take pictures of him when he was dying, and they weren't held responsible. So I guess you weren't be held responsible. The same way these guys took a picture of a dying man, they're not held responsible. I guess it's the same thing. You know what? Excuse me for that. I guess it's the same thing. I guess it's the same exact thing, and there's no difference. You know what? I'm not even mad. It is what it is. The same way they're not going to hold a young Caucasian man who put up all of those things, all that stuff you put up about it, and now they're acting like you don't know anything. Really? Well, here's what I can say about that. That if it is true, and if that is what it is, the only thing I can say is that more power to you. If you know that, but I don't know. You need to show me some proof on that. There's nothing you can say to try and sway me otherwise. There's nothing you can do to try and persuade me. Nah, you got to show me that his body's not there. Because that's huge. That would be huge. Do you know how big that'd be? Do you know how serious that'd be? So where actually is his body if it's not in his memorial? If it's not in the place where his funeral was held, where his last visitations were before he was put away forever? How do you know that? That's crazy. Unless you have some inside information, I definitely want to know. You already know how you can reach out to me. @ ALL, CZARR on Twitter. Or you could go over to Instagram. Commenters can tell you exactly how to reach me. I talk to them all the time. That's what I'm saying. You can't just say stuff like that with no proof and then just push it on us. Like, we're different. You're not just going to get that by. That's not how it's going to work. That's not how this type of thing works. We don't rock like that. We rock different than that. If I say something, then I know something about it, or I have something. Either or. I don't play that way. The same way I spoke about the oink oink thing, and the same way I spoke about details in the situation, I actually have stuff that could blow people out the water, that could destroy people. So that's why I say what I say. Understand, there's a whole motion to the movement. It's not just whatever people say or whatever people think. There's a whole motion to how I'm moving. And if you don't get that yet, then you're never going to get it. But that's my thing. You got to show proof here at CommenterNation. We don't just accept what people say and run with it. We move a little different. But aside that note, if you do have the proof, just send it over. I told you how to reach me. You can drop it in the comments. Commenters will pick up on it. There's a lot of commenters concerned that you would drop something like this without any proof. And they want to know where you're getting your evidence from to even speak this way about the situation. So on that note, I'm not going to kick your name out there. I'll let you give time to show the proof. And if you want to go into more depth and detail, I'll make another video showing respects to the fact you showed evidence to what you're trying to say. Because you're making a statement that his body is not there. As if you looked inside, you know for a fact. So I'm concerned about that. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.